Yes, it's a Saturday night in Metro Detroit by the lake. Orchard Lake St. Mary's welcoming in a familiar rival, the Grand Blanc Bobcats, back-to-back finalists in the great state of Michigan. Hello again, everybody. My name is Chad Bush, alongside Sam Stick Day. It's Orchard Lake St. Mary's moving up the ladder. 4 straight wins, including Tuesday night's win at De La Salle. They got the win 64-45, Stick. And look, Grand Blanc's taken some losses, a couple of them, just like St. Mary's. They get a win back on Tuesday night in their conference against Saginaw Arthur Hill. Both these teams ready to do battle, and boy, it's always exciting when these two teams get together.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of years in the past, and it's always been a good matchup, and especially when you get players like each one of these teams have. I mean, you're talking Trey McKinney for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you got Sherrod Barnes, and then on the other side, you got R.J. Taylor, you got Tay Boyd. It's a game of matchups, and these teams match up really well against each other, so I'm excited to see what the outcome's going to be tonight.
Trey McKinney, of course, over 20 high major offers, went to middle school in Grand Blanc. So it was a homecoming last year, his freshman year, when he blew up in the Eaglets win on the road at Grand Blanc, and they got to get a classic 65-62. Trey's back tonight, but look, this is a matchup. You talked about a couple of them, Stick, but St. Mary's in handling success, being able to come off a big win and then get another win. They've shown that ability, knocking off UAD a week ago, and then here again on Tuesday. Can they keep it going? It'll be a big test tonight.
Well, that's the thing that in the post-game interview that you did with Trey McKinney for the UAD game, he talked about those losses earlier in the season helped them grow along the way. And, you know, that shows some maturity out of a team, and you want to continue to test yourself early in the season like they have been, obviously with the Catholic League Central, but then playing outside teams like a Grand Blanc.
Yeah, and Grand Blanc, look, they've played some tough folks. They're 5-2. They're 2-0 in their league. They have a new regime. And enter Torrey Jackson, the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish star, second all-time in steals in program history, and also in assist. This is a guy that comes in, takes over for Mike Thomas. And, of course, we'll see Mike next Saturday in the Gotta Get It Classic, which is now no longer at Grand Blanc, of course, because he took over at East Kentwood. But, look, a new program under Torrey. Fans expect a lot at Grand Blanc. What do you think so far about what they've done in this new regime under Torrey Jackson?
Well, I think the biggest thing you're going to notice, first of all, is they don't play as fast, a little bit more under control. You know, last year they were scoring about 70 points a game. This year they're about 57 points a game. But that's all coming in with the new system. And, you know, when you have a point guard with the experience like RJ, you can throw anything you want at him. You know he's going to digest it. You know he's going to run the system to perfection. So Grand Blanc's still working some things out. Orchard Lake St. Mary's still working some things out. But at the end of the day, they're playing right now, tonight, right here in Orchard Lake, and we get to see who's evolved faster so far this season.
The captains are meeting at mid-court. You talk a little bit further about Grand Blanc. You mentioned R.J. Taylor, the Northern Iowa signee. Going to go play for Ben Jacobson next season in the Valley. But he's not all they have. In fact, he's not even their leading scorer. Tay Boyd, who's going to Ferris State to play football and basketball, super athlete. This is a guy that leads them in scoring. It's a two-team tandem that's really dangerous and makes Grand Blanc a chance to win every night.
Yeah, when you have a point guard that's pretty much like a quarterback in R.J. Taylor, and you got a wide receiver football player like Tay Boyd, just throw it up to him and you let him use his athleticism. And that's the matchup I'm really looking forward to see tonight. Tay Boyd versus Trey McKinney. You know, you got size, you got speed on both of those guys. It's going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out tonight.
Both teams have played Warren De La Salle. Both teams have beaten Warren De La Salle. That is the best win of the year for arguably both teams. St. Mary's knocking off UAD, who was a little bit higher ranked, I guess, than De La Salle, also a high win. This is a matchup we expect to be physical. We expect it to be hot in here. It always is. Depth is always a question when you talk about physicality, Stick. What do you see in the depth department tonight?
Well, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, that's probably their weakness. Their biggest weakness is depth, especially at that big man position. Wisniewski's been able to step in over the past couple games, filling in for a couple players that aren't able to play tonight. But that's Orchard Lake St. Mary's. If you can get into their bench, if you can get them in foul trouble, it's going to be tough for them to continue to play with you.
Yeah, it's a well-fought rivalry so far. It's just the fifth game all time these two teams have played. Last year, St. Mary's won the Gotta Get a Classic by 3. Year before that, St. Mary's won in the regular season here in Orchard Lake. And then in the quarterfinals up in Davison, Grand Blanc got the last laugh as they ended St. Mary's season in the quarterfinals, advancing with Ty Rogers, who's now at Illinois, and company.
Yeah, and that was, that whole season was interesting how it played out. Like Grand Blanc used that entire season to build and build and build, and by the time they got to the state playoffs, they were a different animal than Orchard Lake St. Mary's saw earlier in that season, and it came back to bite St. Mary's, and you got to hand it to Grand Blanc. They're an incredible program. They got the players, and they're never a tough out.
St. Mary's, under Todd Covert in his 8th year, really coming on. They've won 4 straight. Stick, we know about Trey McKinney. He's been as fabulous as you could ever think, and a guy that might be the best player in the state. And we use that term, we try not loosely, but sometimes we do. Trey McKinney, we really mean it. He's on some kind of run now. What kind of player is he? If somebody had never seen him before, what would you go tell him if you could talk to him and describe Trey McKinney?
Just fundamentally sound. You know, he's got like the game of a 40-year-old guy at the gym who's perfected it, but he's such a young talent, and that's what's scary about it. And I don't mean that as any type of insult. I mean that he's perfected. He knows how to use his body. He's methodical when he's got the basketball. He gets to his spots. And my favorite part about his game is his mid-range jumper. Yeah. That's something that you just don't see, not even at the NBA, the college level. And for him to have it as a sophomore, it's pretty incredible. He's also got a nice little turnaround baseline jumper, but that mid-range game, I think, is what separates him from anybody else.
Well said. He's a sophomore, and he's the 22nd ranked player nationally in the class of 2025. He's not the only guy. Daniel Smythe has helped quite a bit. He's been over 50% from downtown. He's coming off a big game at De La Salle. Sherrod Barnes has been outstanding. He's really provided things. And then the latest guy to appear is Mason Wisniewski. Who is this masked man? He's come out of nowhere, and he's really helped St. Mary's. They're going to have to count on him the rest of the way to be that big man.
Yeah, and we saw it against the U of D. You know, he was kind of outmatched way early in that game, first and second quarter. U of D was taking advantage of him on the offensive rebounds. But by the end of the game, he kind of grew into, the big man that you want. He started to show a little bit of confidence. He had a baseline drive going for the dunk, and you don't see that out of unconfident people. He's going for it, and at this point, what do you got to lose? You're in the game. Have fun with it.
The long, athletic junior big man really coming on as of late. And Andrew Smith has been the steady glue guy with good skills. He has been offered by Northwood. All right, we've got the battle coming up, and we've got the head coach who's going to lead the Eaglets here at Dombrowski Fieldhouse tonight for what they hope is their 5th straight win. Grand Blanc, a tough cookies in town to try to change that vibe. Coming back right after this with Todd Covert. We are the Prep. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back to Dombrowski Fieldhouse. Time now to sit down with the head coach, Todd Covert, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Todd, in his 8th year, he's got the Eaglets playing their best basketball. They've won 4 in a row, coming off a win against De La Salle back on Tuesday night. What a win. You guys put it all together in a tough gym to play. Bill Fox Gymnasium against a tough rival, De La Salle. Bit of revenge for last year. Had to feel good to get that win, huh?
Yeah, that's always a tough place to play. I don't know who I was talking to. Even in our teams that were really, 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 really good, it's tough to win there. It is a tough place to win.
You get balanced efforts, too, offensively, defensively. You've got some guys emerging here. You're starting to see the growth in Barnes and Wisniewski and Smythe. Some of these guys, we knew about Trey, but we're starting to find out about some of these other guys.
Yeah, no, I think Trey obviously had some big minutes last year, but the rest of those kids really didn't play very much. This is their first kind of go round into this type of environment, and it's a different speed, a different physicality, and I think they're starting to get used to it. We'll see how we handle a little bit of success being a young team. We challenge them this week to make sure that they have some maturity and continue to chop the wood, so to speak.
Just one senior And he's your 6th or 7th man, and all due respect to him, he's a guy that comes off the bench, and a bench that only played about a minute the other night.
Yeah.
What's it like having guys that are not seniors leading you on the court and off the court?
No, it's obviously great for the future, but you got to stay in the now. We got what we got right now, and I'll tell you, Luke Creighton played some big minutes the other night, and got some big boards and a couple putbacks and passed the ball well, sees the floor well, handles his own defensively, and I mean, you can't be playing in the street all night like that, but we got away with it with a short rotation, and we'll fight another day.
St. Mary's in first place in the ever tough Central Division, the best league in the state. 2-0 on top of the Central, a lot left. Today you step aside from that. You take on a non-conference opponent from the Saginaw Valley League in Grand Blanc, a team you're very well familiar with, and a team that you have a 3-1 record against. But it's been an impressive run against Grand Blanc, a team that was state champion 2 years ago and a state finalist a season ago.
Yeah, no, we've had some battles with them. We played that 1 year up there with Ty Rogers, and that was just a heck of a game. The game last year, I know Trey had a phenomenal game, but we held on to win that game last year, and we've had some battles. I just always, they have just been such a physical team. They're, they deserve or don't deserve. They'd fit right in the Catholic League. I guess it was pretty smart of me to put another Catholic League game on the schedule tonight, but hey, that's what we do here. Yeah,
and they have played some Catholic League teams already. De La Salle, a common opponent. You both have knocked off the Pilots. Let's talk about specifically this team, though. It's different. Mike Thomas is gone. It's a new system by Torrey Jackson, the former All Big East and the second all-time scorer at Notre Dame. I mean, this is a guy that's big time. What has he brought in, though, as a coach that's different with this team?
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm sure he's still working through all those things and putting his fingerprint on it, but RJ is as smart a high school guard as you're going to get. He's, it doesn't matter how you play him. He's got a counter for everything you do. And, Boyd's not your standard high school athlete. He's just so much stronger and physically talented than 99.9% of the competition. And their other guards, Richardson and 21 and 23, they're quick kids. I mean, 11's starting to play better. He's starting to get big minutes like our kids are. They're a balanced team. I think that's what's difficult about them is they got good balance.
How good's Trey McKinney? Is he the best player ever in St. Mary's basketball history?
I don't know about best, but he's as good as. You got Lauren Bowman and Kalen Lucas and Allen Robinson. We'll see how it ends up, but he's trending in that right way. He does some things that I've never seen before.
Trey had a 37-point game in the overtime win against UAD last Saturday. 1 week ahead tonight. Let's talk about two keys on each side of the ball that's going to get you a win tonight in the Eaglets.
We got to rebound. I mean, they're bigger and stronger and more athletic than we are. We got to rebound the basketball, number one, and number two, we got to handle transition. We can't give them easy buckets. They're very good defensively. We're gonna have to move the ball. They're not going to give you anything early. So offensively, we've got to handle their pressure. We've got to be in control and be a little bit patient tonight because it's not going to be there early.
That's Todd Covert, the head coach of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, getting his team set to try to win 5 in a row against back-to-back state finalist Grand Blanc. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you having us. And,
appreciate you.
Best of luck tonight moving forward.
Yeah.
We're coming back with the start of tonight's game from Dabrowski Fieldhouse. It's Grand Blanc and Orchard Lake St. Mary's coming up next on the Prep.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy. Forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Everywhere you look this time of year, people are running, and that's a great thing because running is an excellent exercise, especially for your cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. But the question is, are you running a safe running program? All too often, people are hobbled by things like shin splints and patellar tendonitis. But luckily, simple things like stretching and warm-up, the right running shoes, and realistic weekly mileages can keep you in your running game. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse. Chad and Stick with you. St. Mary's and Grand Blanc. Let's meet the starters for the road team, the Bobcats, who come in 5-2, 2-0 in the Saginaw Valley League, where they reside, coming off the best two seasons in their 100-year basketball history. State champs in 2021, where they knocked off Ann Arbor Huron, and state finalists last year, where they lost in the state title game, Division I, to De La Salle, 67-58. Here's this year's starters. It's R.J. Taylor, the Northern Iowa signee, 6-foot senior, put up 15 points a game, crossed the 1,000-point mark last Saturday, and he's just about 50 points shy of the school record in points. At the shooting guard spot, it's Nate Richardson, 6'1" senior, who's had an offer from Macomb, and a guy who could do a little bit of everything for head coach Torrey Jackson. Tay Boyd is their first or second best player. This is a guy that's really good and averages 15.7 points a game. Their highest scorer, 6'4" forward, who signed to play football and basketball at Ferris State. Anthony Purdue is one of the forwards, 6'3", and this is a long, athletic forward, backup quarterback on the football team. At the 5 spot, it's Bryce O'Mara, 6'7" junior, 8 points a game, guy that can really knock it down from deep and can get heated from downtown. Let's meet the starters for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. By the way, Grand Blanc is coached by Torrey Jackson, assisted by David Richmond, Doris Martin, Trey Watkins, Eric Cooley, and DeAndre Massey and Robert Stinson. The starters for Orchard Lake St. Mary's look like that. They will start with Sherrod Barnes at the point guard spot. Sherrod doing great things. Had a big performance against UAD, 18 points in the win for the Eaglets. Daniel Smythe, maybe the best three-point shooter in the state. He's at 56% from downtown, and also running that shooting guard spot for the Eaglets. Trey McKinney, 22nd best player in the nation in the class of 2025. And, of course, Trey, 24 points a game, offers from 20-plus Division I schools. Andrew Smith, ultra glue guy, offered by Northwood. And Mason Wisniewski, the big center for St. Mary's, who's really coming on. All right, Stick, we're underway. Grand Blanc basketball. Top side three on the way. Rim off. That's from Nathan Richardson. Barnes with a rebound, and here come the Eaglets in a scoreless game.
Yeah, Sherrod Barnes offensively starting to come alive the last couple games. We'll see if he can get it here going for Orchard Lake St. Mary's early in the first half.
Eaglets are coming off a win, maybe their biggest of the year against De La Salle, 64-45 at Bill Fox Gymnasium. Kick left corner, this is Barnes working against R.J. Taylor. Sherrod Barnes, a sophomore, offered by Eastern and Toledo. This is a couple of mid-major guys going at it. Backdoor cut, Trey shot up long, and a late foul is called. And the foul's going to go on number 5. That's Anthony Purdue, his first. 2 shots coming for the MAC man, Trey McKinney.
Yeah, a nice backdoor cut by Trey McKinney here. And this is another part of his game. He's not just standing still waiting for the basketball. He's moving while the other players, he's making things happen. And you get him on that back cut, you're either going to foul him or it's going to be an easy lay-in.
Trey had 37 against U of D 1 week ago in that 2-part game against U of D. St. Mary's 67-64 overtime win. Trey misses on the first. Trey went for 37 points and 10 rebounds in that game against U of D. Described him as a ultra big man or old man game, and he is the king of the 2-point mid-range shot, and he can do a lot more. One of the best finishers we've ever seen as well. St. Mary's is on the board. They lead 1-0. Grand Blanc on the attack, right to left. There's a tie up in the paint, and that's a travel. So the travel on Tay Boyd, thanks to some sticky defense by St. Mary's. This is an elite defense, Stick.
Yeah, they're known for their man-to-man. Sometimes they'll switch it up in zone, but traditionally they'll be in man-to-man the entire game, using their athleticism and length.
Daniel Smythe, top side, flips back to Sherrod. Sherrod carried it, thought about Wisniewski, and then thought, well, I'll keep it. And that equates to a turnover. 1-0 St. Mary's. This game looking for its first basket. 1 minute, 20 seconds gone by. Purdue kicks it out left wing. They invite the 3, and it is a rude invitation acceptance for Tay Boyd. Splash City, the senior, has Grand Blanc's first lead.
And he's got that look in his eye tonight. You do not want to leave that man open behind the 3-point line. He will knock it down more times than not.
Known more as a driver and slasher. Kick left corner, Daniel Smythe for 3. That's a mistake. Splash City for Bugsy. This kid's unconscious right now from downtown. 75% his last 3 games.
And a great cross-court left-handed pass, too, by Trey McKinney to get him open.
Beautiful look by Trey, who's added that willing passer aspect to another level. Complete player. Kick left corner, another 3. No dice this time. Trey gets fouled over the back. No call. O'Mara heads back the other way. 4-3, St. Mary's on top.
One thing I'd like y'all to notice when St. Mary's has the ball is how hard of a pick Wisniewski sets. I noticed it during the U of D game. He comes up and he lays the wood when he's setting a pick.
And not a huge fella either, just a physical player. Grand Blanc is a very physical defense. Step back, Trey McKinney 3. Wisniewski over the back, and this time he gets busted over the back of O'Mara. I'm going to do that all night. I got a restaurant I love called O'Mara's, and I got a friend named Troy O'Mara, so I go back and forth.
Hey, as long as you're calling his name all night, that means he's having a good game. I don't think he minds.
He's a good kid as well, does a lot of charitable work. Led a Christmas toy drive and done a lot of work with the American Cancer Society. RJ kicks out to him. O'Mara, 4-3 on cue. Splash City. For a kid with a big heart, he gets a big bucket, and it's a 2-point lead with 5 to go in the first for the road Bobcats. Sherrod, 2-time, gets out of it and throws it away. 2-on-1 the other way. Throw ahead is saved and taken down. Sherrod Barnes with a firm foul on Tay Boyd. And whoa, things just got a little bit exciting in here.
And it's almost like both those players were going to hit the floor hard, but they kind of broke each other's fall. Watch this contact here. You see Sherrod Barnes coming in, going for but they all just kind of land on each other.
How about the play by Nathan Richardson? My goodness, to save that ball from going out of bounds. Good hustle play, and it equates to free throws for Tay Boyd, going to be a Bulldog at Ferris State, national champions in football. Is it back-to-back years they've won national titles?
I believe so.
Tony Anise doing great things up there. 8-4, Grand Blanc with their largest lead. Just under 5 to go. St. Mary's has won 4 straight. Grand Blanc coming off a win against Arthur Hill. Sherrod to the rack with an English twist.
Yeah, he's become a lot more aggressive on the offensive end, and it's produced pretty good results.
Barnes had 11 against De La Salle back on Tuesday night, and St. Mary's win. Both these teams have knocked off the Pilots. Not easy to do. The reigning state champs. R.J. Taylor misses a 3.
Yeah, you'd like to see R.J. attack Wisniewski there on the perimeter.
Backdoor cut. Smythe to Barnes. Sherrod throws it into traffic, stolen by O'Mara. Richardson on the run to the rack, had it blocked by Smith, picked up by Smythe. Bugsy looks ahead, great pass, gets the return to Trey with a hammer, and the Eaglets have tied it at Ocho.
Good unselfish play by Sherrod Barnes, giving that up. Could have tried to force the tough layup, but give it up to Trey McKinney for the jam.
Yes, sir. RJ on the right wing. The Panther commit is fouled baseline left. And that'll go against Daniel. No, it'll go against Smith, not Smythe. How about that feed?
Yeah, beautiful find. And once again, moving without the basketball, Trey McKinney, not just taking things for granted. But that's how I want to see R.J. Taylor attack the rim. I mean, he gets the foul, creating here another possession for his team. He's got to be on attack today against a team like Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Tay Boyd's on the attack here, draws the foul. Foul on Wisniewski, that's already his second. And that's a sticking spot for Todd Covert and company. Again, St. Mary's really rolling with one big. And it's Wisniewski. Certainly Smith can play some minutes there, and you can put Trey in that 5 spot, but St. Mary's about to go small here as the lone senior Jackson Wazalewski will check in. Free throws missed, so splits the pair does Boyd. 9-8, Grand Blanc on top, 3:30 left in the first. Smythe across the timeline against Taylor. Barnes on the far wing against the freshly checked in Trayvon Johnson, the guy they call the microwave. As a handoff by Smythe, it's errant. RJ the other way, and he lays it in. RJ Taylor, who averages nearly 4 steals a game, gets one there, and the Bobcat leads back up to 3.
And that's why he's regarded as one of the best point guards in the state, able to just snatch that ball from Orchard Lake St. Mary's and get a nice, easy layup.
His dad, Bob Taylor, the former assistant coach at Oakland University. Wisniewski rolls, drives, puts up the mid-post jumper, short. RJ with a run out to Boyd, all alone. Hammer time. Timeout, Todd Covert. Grand Blanc with their grandest lead of the night, albeit young, by 5. Coming back to Dombrowski in a bit.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
The Bobcats 5-2 on the year, 2-0 in league play. It's early. Their best win, well, was against De La Salle. They won by 11 up at their joint. Their best loss, well, they lost to Brother Rice. They lost by 11. Brother Rice is St. Mary's next opponent on Tuesday night. Torrey Jackson in his first season. Grand Blanc's a big school, 2,733 co-eds up there. It's, I think, the largest in the state. Should know that. It's 1 or 2. State title 2 years ago. Mike Thomas led them there. 2021 state champs, and Mike Thomas led them back last year to the Brez, and they fell. They fell to the Catholic League zone De La Salle Pilots. Kalen Morris, you should know that guy. 2-time All-Stater, the all-time leading scorer at Grand Blanc. 1,075 points, and he's currently the head coach at Livonia Churchill, the head girls coach. It's Alex Westfall's rival back in high school. Alex used to go head-to-head with him. And Evan. I digress. 5-point lead for Grand Blanc. They've got their largest. Sherrod being checked by the super sub Johnson. And Sherrod travels. Turnovers have been an issue early, Stick, for St. Mary's, and it's cost them a 5-point lead.
Yeah, and you got to hand it to Grand Blanc and their crowd. They are traveling well tonight. Big, loud energy for them, and when they force turnovers, you definitely hear it here inside Orchard Lake St. Mary's gym.
St. Mary's 60% from the floor. Grand Blanc 50% from the floor. 2 of 5 from downtown are the Bobcats. St. Mary's 1 of 2. Turnovers are the story. 5 turnovers for St. Mary's, 1 for Grand Blanc. Tay Boyd step back 18-footers, an air biscuit. And Trey will get to the floor and lose it out of bounds. And Todd Covert saying, wait a minute, that's either a foul or it should be our ball. And it's neither. Johnson to trigger into R.J. Taylor. Combo guard going to play at the Dome up in northern Iowa. Cross court, O'Mara for 3 again. No, it hit the cables up top in Dabrowski. And Grand Blanc will take a 5-point lead back in the defensive end, Stick.
Yeah, Grand Blanc's getting really good looks at the rim. I mean, all their three-pointer shots have been pretty much wide open, and they've been getting some nice offense.
Torrey Jackson, lower third. Do we have that? Trey, step back 18-footer, short. Been a quiet start for him. O'Mara all alone, kick back, 3 ball. Nearly brought some rain, no good. Sherrod with a rebound.
He pulled up way beyond that 3-point line.
And O'Mara passed it up for that guy. There's a blocking foul as Sherrod tried to share the Sugar left corner. And that one's going to go on Trayvon Johnson, who's got an offer from Macomb Community College.
And they're going to say that was on the pass, so no free throws coming for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That was kind of the debate between the official and the coach.
That's the right call.
It is the right call.
Donnie Huddleston will check in. O'Mara will check out. Ball out of bounds, baseline right by Andrew Smith, the junior. The only senior on this club for St. Mary's has the basketball. It's Jackson Wazalewski. Now Trey with just single attention against Boyd. Trey 3 points in this game. A free throw and a dunk, and we got a foul high on the left. What's this? It's a second on Johnson, I guess.
And that's an aggressive foul away from the rim. Not something you want, especially with Johnson. He's had a good impact early on in this game, his energy. But everybody from Grand Blanc right now is bringing energy.
Daniel Steele will check in. Off the glass, good. Are they going to count it? No, they won't. The foul's going to go on number 12, Daniel Steele. He's only in for 3 seconds, and he's already got a foul.
Well, if you're Sherrod Barnes, you're looking at that as a mismatch right now.
Smith trouble getting it in over the long, lanky Anthony Purdue. They'll have to do it again. 56 seconds left until the break. The break called the end of the first quarter. Some scores to pass along momentarily. Trey with a booty bump. Left elbow, fadeaway jump shot, in and out. And the rebound ripped down by the freshly checked in Huddleston. RJ with it, high on the right.
Yeah, Trey McKinney just a little bit off with his jump shot tonight. Been very quiet here in the first quarter.
Tip of the cap to the defense, maybe.
Always.
Tay Boyd.
Always.
Yep. Huddleston kick out right corner. 3 on the way, no. Trey with a big boy rebound. And here come the Eaglets down by 5 with 22 seconds left until the end of the first quarter.
That was a big miss for Grand Blanc. You go up doubling Orchard Lake St. Mary's going into the second quarter. You're feeling a lot better about yourself.
You bet. Smythe with it, top of the circle. Backdoor cut, not home. Smythe will turn, pull up, 19-footer short. Wazalewski with a fadeaway, stick back, no. R.J. Taylor from half court at the buzzer. Bank is not open. Grand Blanc with a 5-point bump headed to the second quarter. Looking comfy on the road against the Eaglets. A lot of game left. We're coming back to Dabrowski right after this.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Yes, Keep 'em Laughing Comedy Fest is coming to Pontiac. What a great comedy show at the Flagstar Strand Theater. Saturday, March 11th at 7:30. Guy, Torrey, Kevin, Tate, and Daryl Earl. Pontiac Zone will be there, hosted by Mike Bonner. What a great event. And it's for a great cause for our friends at Reach. Support Reach and this program by attending this. Get your tickets online through Ticketmaster. Welcome back to Dombrowski. 5-point lead for Grand Blanc. Your thoughts in the first quarter, Sam Stick Day?
It was kind of a slow first quarter for both teams, but just a feeling out process. We expect it to pick up a little bit more as we go on throughout this game.
There's a slip, first sign of slippage tonight. The operations crew says that should not happen tonight. Crichton is checked in. That's Luke Crichton, and he loses it in the right corner. Stolen by Grand Blanc. It's the 6th turnover for the Eaglets tonight. Grand Blanc's flipped it over just once. Right corner three, in and out, no. By the reserve steal. We sit at 13-8. Trey with it, mid post, left hand hook is good. Trey went to the left-handed bag, and he got 2 points, and he cut this thing to 3.
And that's what Orchard Lake St. Mary's needs right now. Usually you're preaching team ball, but Trey's got to get a little bit selfish and get his team going.
Fair enough. RJ Taylor with the basketball. RJ 48 points shy of the school's all-time scoring record. He's a 4-year starter. He's played all but one. He started all but one game, and that one game was on senior night out of respect. Tay Boyd with another triple, and the lead now grows to 6, its largest. Crichton with a reverse, and he scores it. That's a freshman. Luke Crichton with a move. Wow. That'll make you forget about Jack for a minute. And Crichton comes back and forces a Tay Boyd turnover. How about that series by the rookie?
I'm still sitting here in awe about that move, going up and under the rim, the reverse layup for the freshman. And you can tell, once he puts on some pounds, he's going to be a formidable force, but athleticism like that, my goodness.
Luke Crichton is committed to Indiana for baseball already. He's a freshman. His brother Jack is at Clemson. So yeah, how about that? St. Mary's trails by 4, 6:09 to go. It's been mostly Grand Blanc the whole way in the lead.
Yeah, another turnover by Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and that's where Grand Blanc is really taking advantage. 7 already.
Into the game is a fresh face. It's number 30, Joe Nemechek. Nemechek, a senior at 6'3". RJ Taylor's been quiet, kicks it left corner. Richardson for 3, that's short. And the ball tipped out of bounds off of Huddleston. Back to the Eaglets. Huddleston just a sophomore. Grand Blanc's already gone about 5 deep on that bench. St. Mary's with really 2 guys off that bench that they'll use, Stick, at least for the foreseeable future.
Well, it's an interesting lineup for Grand Blanc right now. No RJ Taylor or Boyd.
See how that goes. 4-point lead. Crichton with it. Dribble drive, attacks, puts it up, and scores it. Luke Crichton. Wow. The freshman single-handedly giving St. Mary's the only offensive source they've really had in this second quarter.
And it's that wirely strength.
Mid-post shot, no. Crichton with a rebound. Here comes Andrew Smith on the run.
And immediately coach for Grand Blanc going back to RJ Taylor and Boyd.
Turnover, steal, layup, good. Coast to coast, Joe Nemechek gets a pick 2. And Grand Blanc's leads back to 4 with 4:49 left in the first half. Todd Covert wants timeout at Orchard Lake. Wow. New faces appearing all over. This is a tight one here in Orchard Lake. We're back for the final 5 of the first half right after this.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Out of the St. Mary's timeout, Trey McKinney gets the ball. Working one-on-one against Boyd, now 2 times, gives it up to Crichton. Luke with a turn, slips, falls, keeps his dribble, gets it to Sherrod Barnes somehow. Quick closeout on Smythe, and he lost it going up off his leg. Ball out of bounds. The turnovers continue to fall here in Orchard Lake.
Yeah, that's 8 now, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's got to feel lucky to only be down 4 points.
4:20 left until halftime. RJ Taylor's been quiet with the numbers. Just 2 points in this game. Tay Boyd has 11 of the 18 for Grand Blanc. He averages 16, and Tay Boyd and Trey McKinney. Of course, Trey's from Grand Blanc. He went to middle school there.
Well, that was interesting. Trey and Boyd were locked up for about 30 seconds before the foul was called. And then the outside official called it like, I think we got to call that.
Yeah. RJ kicks. Hankins is checked in for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Tay Boyd for 3, no. Offensive rebound. Tay will get it back. Run into his teammate. And now RJ will reset.
You like the 2-man game here for Grand Blanc.
Aiden Hankins, the sophomore, checking Tay Boyd. They'll get a foul on Hanks on the floor, I think, before the shot. They're going to give him 2 shots? Oh, boy. Okay. So Tay Boyd line left to try to add to his 11-point tally already.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. He came with that look in his eye early, and the only thing that's keeping Orchard Lake St. Mary's in this ball game is the poor shooting by Grand Blanc. Right now, they're only shooting 31% from the field and 23% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, good point. St. Mary's 50% has been much sharper, but they have not kept the ball.
Yeah, the 9 turnovers now are really becoming problematic.
Yes, sir. Free throws are split. 5-point lead, 3:40 left until halftime. Sherrod Barnes with the basketball. Luke Crichton into Trey, 2-time fadeaway air ball. Now it got front rim. Grand Blanc paying special attention to Trey, no surprise. Richardson, the senior, does a little bit of everything for this club. Under first-year head coach Torrey Jackson. Pull up RJ. No, Tay Boyd lost it. 3rd crack, and Grand Blanc gets another try. Kick down low. Picked up, somehow missed the bunny. Joe Nemechek couldn't make that bucket. Here comes St. Mary's trying to make it hurt.
Yeah, and that was a free assist for RJ on that, too.
Trey McKinney missed a short shot. Couldn't finish. And we got a jump ball. And it's going to go back to Grand Blanc, who's just had the higher hand tonight.
Yeah, and there you go. That's another turnover by Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Trey McKinney having a rough time just finding the hoop tonight.
Tay Boyd, a big part of that. 6'4", ultra athletic forward for Grand Blanc. He's committed to Ferris State.
Both these teams really doing a great job defensively.
Banker no good for Purdue. Offensive rebound and another multiple trip for Grand Blanc. Back-to-back possessions with that. Tay Boyd, jump shot, no. Good box out by Smythe. Crichton with a rebound. And on the run and fouled with a hip check with 2:17 left. That'll be the 6th team foul. Free throws 1-1 the rest of the way, either way.
And, you know, we really haven't seen Crichton on the floor much this season. We're getting the first kind of look at his game. And he's got a nice, quick first step, and he's able to use that wiry strength to keep the defender on his hip to the left most of the amount of time. It's a nice game.
He does. We did not cover him Tuesday night against De La Salle, at De La Salle, but he did play well in that game and had some nice looks. But, yeah, this is kind of a breakout party. St. Mary's needs it to get converted into points. And holding on to the basketball, 9 turnovers in this game. It's been the difference. St. Mary's has 5 points from Trey McKinney, 4 points for Luke Crichton. Barnes with the basketball. Smith. Bouncer. Smythe. Short corner left. Short with it. RJ on the run. Back out to O'Mara. And now the Bobcats up 5 with under 2 minutes, looking to get a bonus ball from RJ. Nothing home. Ball out of bounds. Back to St. Mary's.
Both teams really struggling to find their rhythm tonight. And it's going to be who goes on that first little run. I mean, right now, Grand Blanc with the 5-point lead. These next 4 points swing either way is going to be huge in this ball game.
Yeah. Low-scoring affair. It's a slower paced, as you mentioned in the open. The Grand Blanc's playing this year. Mike Thomas is more of a want to play faster. Now Richardson getting into it defensively. Trey gets a double team. Gives it up to Sherrod. Sherrod, pull up, mid-post jumper, missed it. RJ on the run. The Northern Iowa commit, back to O'Mara for 3, no. 3 of 15 from downtown to the Bobcats. Sherrod, short corner shot is blocked and out of bounds, and back to St. Mary. No, back to Grand Blanc. Hard to see down in that corner.
They're gonna maybe award with a timeout. I don't think he got it before he got to the out of bounds marker.
Oh, they are gonna say it's St. Mary's ball.
It is St. Mary's ball.
It was an odd sign, okay.
Yeah, RJ was diving in the corner. I think he called timeout, but while he was doing it, he was touching out of bounds.
Okay. Look at that, Jermaine Gonzalez, the athletic director, doing God's work out there. Where's Robin when you need him?
Usually sitting right. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he is. Oh, yeah.
he's at his normal post.
He's earned that. Trey McKinney with a show and go, 2-timed layup. Good. Oh, it rolled around and flirted with disaster, but Trey gets it to go, and St. Mary's gets a much-needed bucket after a 4-minute spell. 3-point lead for Grand Blanc. Trey with 7. St. Mary's has held Grand Blanc to 24% shooting, 6 of 25. And they're down 3. RJ against Smythe. Lob down low, knocked away by Smith. Trey on the run, 3-on-2 for St. Mary's. Smythe in the right block. Back to Smith, down the avenue, left hand layup, good. But a Euro step that might have been a North American step.
That was a hop and a skip, then the jump is what got him last. That extra little footwork to get off and get that jump. Right here, you can do that, but you can't take that extra step.
Yeah. So Grand Blanc can take this lead to the break. They're up 3 with 11 seconds left. Richardson with the rock. RJ left sideline, down low, up fake, shot blocked from behind by Hanks. So a fine play by the sophomore at 6'3", Aiden Hanks, to get a block with 4.2 seconds left. And we'll keep it right here. Torrey Jackson wants timeout. You look at the St. Mary's profile, big back-to-back wins. They knocked off UAD last week in overtime, and then a big win on Tuesday over De La Salle, 64-45 in Warren. Tough loss in Illinois to the #1 team in Illinois at the time in Class 4A. And, of course, the Eaglets co-divisional private. Todd Covert in his 8th season, 4 times over are the Eaglets state champions. Last in 2000 under George Porritt. And Kalen Lucas, 2017 grad that you might recall. Wait a minute, that's supposed to be 2000. Yeah, it is 2017. No, 2007 grad. 2009 Big Ten Player of the Year. And Kalen Lucas is an Eaglet, and he resides at #1 on the all-time scorers list here in Dabrowski.
Yeah, he was a great player to watch. He is so fun with the ball. One-man full-court press breaker.
Yes, sir. Inbounds, 4 seconds. RJ with it against Smythe. Free throw shot up and fouled. And this is a tough call for St. Mary's with 1.2 seconds left. And Taylor going line left where he's a career 84% free throw shooter.
And that's a smart play by a crafty veteran. That's exactly what he'll do. He'll get you going, use your momentum, jump back into you, and get the easy free throws where he's very proficient. But points are points, and RJ Taylor is one of the best at getting them.
Sure is. He gets one here. And that's points 3 and 4 for Taylor. 1.2 seconds left. Sherrod Barnes to go the distance. Into Trey McKinney, who's going to get a half-court clean look. And he'll toss it to Jermaine Gonzalez. That's one half a play. And Grand Blanc has come into Orchard Lake Stick and taken a 5-point lead.
Yes, they have. They've shown it on the defensive end, holding Orchard Lake St. Mary's to 38% shooting and getting 10 turnovers. 10 turnovers been massive.
Pete Scribner is next from Grand Blanc. We'll talk to Pete in a moment. This is Full Court Prep.
Begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse, home of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They have brought the Grand Blanc Bobcats, who they're quite familiar with, down to Orchard Lake, and they have a 5-point lead. Do the Bobcats over Orchard Lake St. Mary's 21-16. And one of our friends here at the Prep, who's been on our airwaves as part of our team, even though he, goes back to Grand Blanc whenever we're done with our events. He's one of us. He's Pete Scribner. Pete, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be here with you. Glad I could sport the hat tonight.
Yes, I love the hat, and we get a good look at that. That's a limited edition hat, and I'm glad you have that. Listen, Grand Blanc, what a program to be a part of the last couple years. You go 2 years ago, win the state title, knocking off St. Mary's in the quarterfinals, and Ty Rogers and Mike Thomas leading the way. Come back last year, get all the way to the finals again. This is after almost 100 years of history of not getting a title, and darn near pulled it off back-to-back, losing to De La Salle. But what a run it's been for this program. I know you've been a big part of it as their media relations director and many other things. What's it been like with this run?
Well, it's been a blast to see them do some things that like you said, that they've never done before. Last year was the 100th season in the history of the school, and just to be able to have a state championship, a banner hung up high, a real neat thing to be a part of, even if it's just a little tiny part like I've been.
Every year's different. Last year was different than the year before, and this year's quite a bit different. You bring in a new bench boss in Tori Jackson from Buena Vista, former two-time state champion in high school, Notre Dame star. Tori's come over, and look, you're 5-2. You played a tough schedule, and you're right in this game. What have you noticed about this Tori Jackson brand of basketball?
Well, he's a really very much a thinking man's player, a thinking man's coach. He is, he's played at Notre Dame. He got a lot of great coaching there. I know Mike there is a big fan of his. He considers him a son even. And Tori was just born to be a basketball guy. He was born to be a basketball guy. His scouting reports are in-depth. He loves breaking down film, loves watching things, and loves being in the gym.
It's a new season, of course, but a lot of the same fabrics of Grand Blanc basketball are back. You've got Tay Boyd, who we saw do crazy things in the first half here, 12 points. And you've got some other guys returning. How about R.J. Taylor? I mean, those two you bring back, you kind of have that tradition along with the other guys in Richardson and Purdue and company, that they know how basketball's supposed to be played at Grand Blanc, and there's an expectation now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, RJ and Tay were big contributors to that state championship team. Bryce Romero was another guy who was on that team as a freshman. So there's guys who know what it takes to win because they've been there, they've done it. And RJ, of course, is headed off to Northern Iowa next year. We're going to miss him, but that's a great fit for him. He will fit in there, and I know they love him, and he loves them. And it's going to be great. Tay's going to be a two-sport athlete at Ferris State, doing football and basketball.
Now, in football, what's his position? What are they thinking he will play at Ferris State?
Yeah, he's going to be a wide receiver, unless they get crazy and do something else with him. But that's the plan originally.
Okay.
He's just an incredible athlete. I think he's probably the best, just pure raw athlete that I've seen come through the program, including a Ty Rogers.
You saw the athleticism of him against Trey McKinney and limiting Trey and St. Mary's, but the defensive side of Tay Boyd is also showing out here in this game. It's been a very defensive battle early on. What are your thoughts of the first 16 minutes of basketball?
Well, like you said, it's been a defensive battle. I feel like, to a certain degree, Grand Blanc, I see here on the stat sheet, 3 for 15 from three-point range. If they hit a couple more of those, even if it's just 5 for 15, now it's an 11-point game, and it's starting to get stretched out. They're going to have to hit more jump shots or shoot fewer jump shots and get a better shot, one or the other, in the second half if they're going to keep this lead, because you're not going to be able to keep an Orchard Lake St. Mary's team down all game long. Holding them to 16 points in this half was very, very commendable. It's a great job, but I've got a feeling they're going to put up more than 16 in the second half.
Well, listen, we may see you again this year. I don't know if it's in basketball, but hopefully the teams will play in at least baseball, and we'll get a chance to get you on the airwaves again, and the tradition of baseball will continue, of St. Mary's and Grand Blanc. Also a state title in baseball for Grand Blanc 2 years ago, or last year? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
So this winning just follows
no national titles,
St. Mary's, back-to-back national titles, and yeah, no doubt, it's certainly something special around here. Listen, great to catch up with you. Thanks so much for everything you do, for helping us and getting ready, and then all the great God's work you do in Grand Blanc and the surrounding areas. Thank you so much for what you do, Pete. Appreciate it. All right, there he is, Pete Scribner of Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc right now on top by 5 in Orchard Lake. We're back with the start of the second half right after this. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse. Look at some highlights here, Stick, from the first half. A first half that was action-packed and very defensive-oriented.
Yeah, and here's a nice little run out for Orchard Lake St. Mary's that led to a dunk for Trey McKinney. Only 7 points in the first half for Trey. Expect him to get going in the second half. And then here you see the full court pass all the way to Boyd for the left-handed jam, returning the favor for Grand Blanc. And like you said, it's been defensive most times, but there has been some offensive sparks. Trey Boyd has been the guy to get it done.
Yes, Tay Boyd with, in this game, 12 points to lead all scorers.
And then you see the surprise of the first half, really, Crichton getting on the board with 4, being the second highest scorer for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Sherrod Barnes is somebody you also expect to get going for OLSM here in the second half.
Yes, sir. All right, some scores to get to. And we saw that a ranked team has fallen. Muskegon has come in to Metro Detroit and got a win. They knocked off Warren Lincoln today, 50-45. That's a final. And Romulus getting nice on Redford Thurston, 91-65. And that's the scores to pass along. We appreciate that. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. My name's Chad Bush. His name is Sam Stick Day. Second half basketball at Grand Blanc and St. Mary's in a non-league affair. This has been a nice tradition. St. Mary's leads the series 3-1. But Stick, it took them a long time to play. They first started playing in 2019. Grand Blanc has that zinger, though, that happened in the quarterfinals 2 years ago.
I was going to say,
on their way to the state championship game.
I'd trade 3 regular season wins for a playoff win on the way to a state championship. So, you know, even though it's 3-1, I think Grand Blanc is still feeling pretty good about that one. And they got an excellent shot at getting that to 3-2 tonight if they keep playing like they have on the defensive end. Like you guys were talking about at halftime, it's going to be tough to keep St. Mary's to another 16-point half. But if anybody can do it, it's Grand Blanc.
Yes, sir. All right, the inbound. Smythe into Barnes. Here we go. The Eaglets right to left. 21-16, Grand Blanc on top. Sherrod with the basketball, working against the senior Richardson. The sophomore who has 2 offers from Division I schools. Sherrod Barnes, mid-post jumper, rims off. Wisniewski over the back, and Wisniewski puts it up and can't get it to go. Maybe a rush job a little bit. RJ Taylor back the other way. RJ in the first half netted 4 points and had 5 rebounds. Not many nights your point guard's going to have more rebounds than points.
He does it all, and he had a couple assists to go with it, too.
Yes, sir.
And that's the one thing. St. Mary's assist-to-turnover ratio was 3-10 in the first half. 2 for 2 for Grand Blanc.
Wowzers. Good defensive set here for St. Mary's. Grand Blanc trying to find some rhythm. Stick said they're shooting 24% in this game. Purdue to the hole against Smythe. Shot up, no. Whistle foul. That's the third on, or is that the second on Smythe? It's the second on Daniel. There is foul trouble, though, on the Eaglet side with Wisniewski. He has 2. You recall he didn't play many minutes in the first half because he picked up foul trouble early.
Yeah, and that's something to look for here in the second half. You know, we saw him already get an offensive rebound for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. So we'll see if having some size down in the paint helps.
22-16.
Number 21, Trayvon Johnson.
Purdue gets the first one to fall. And not the second. Grand Blanc 70% from the stripe, 7 of 10. St. Mary's has been to the stripe just twice. You a little surprised by that? Trey will step back. Dead spot, triple, Splash City. Well, we'll see if that gets Trey going. He has 10 now, and St. Mary's has cut the lead in half, 22-19. Shot up high off the glass from Taylor's crafty and through.
Yeah, a little back and forth from the biggest 2 stars in the game. And it's fun basketball, some offensive basketball here in a little bit of a spurt.
How about it? Sherrod kick, corner, Smythe 4-3, in and out. And here comes Grand Blanc on the run. Trayvon Johnson with the basketball. Now RJ. Nearing. all-time leading scorer, and he's now 40 points shy with that triple to become the all-time leading scorer in Grand Blanc history. The lead is now 7. This is the largest lead of the night for Grand Blanc, just like that. Trey two-time. Sherrod to the corner. Andrew Smith for 3. No. O'Mara with a rebound. RJ on the run.
Yeah, you can tell Grand Blanc really trying to push the pace right now.
They are playing faster. O'Mara for 3, short. Rebound Smith. And Sherrod will slow it up and set something up here with his team down a touchdown at home. St. Mary's has trailed most of the night. An early brief lead, but that's been it. Sherrod to the baseline, weaves his way through and creates free throws.
And Sherrod, when he does have a smaller defender on him, he's got a knack for taking him down on the post, using his quickness and his strength, and you see it here. This time able to jump into his defender and get the foul called and get to the free throw line. But he was able to knock down some big free throws against U of D.
Yeah.
I think it was 6 in a row to close out that game.
It sure was. St. Mary's 67-64 overtime win in Orchard Lake back on the 6th of this month, in the first Catholic League game of the year. St. Mary's and Grand Blanc both 2-0. St. Mary's all alone atop the Central Division standings. Sherrod gets the first. Everybody else has taken a loss. There you see it. 2-1 for U of D, who lost, only losses to St. Mary's. Brother Rice, who lost to De La Salle. De La Salle 1-2, and then Catholic Central 0-2. You look at Catholic Central 0-2, I mean, this is a team that would win most leagues in Metro Detroit. And they're in 5th place in the Central Division. It's a tough, tough league and a lot more to be settled. Just 2 of 8 games have occurred in the Central Division.
Yeah, a lot to play out in the Central. I mean, this, by the time the state tournament rolls around, those teams are battle tested.
Yes, sir. Iron sharpens iron, they say. Sherrod misses the second 6-point lead for the Bobcats. They've led by as many as 7. St. Mary's largest lead in this game has been 4. That's a traveling violation, and maybe the old turnoveritis has been caught by the Bobcats.
Oh, Tay Boyd there just using his athleticism, shuffled his feet a little bit, but you like the aggressiveness out of him. I mean, he's been the leading scorer along the way. You got to stay aggressive.
Daniel between the rings. Back to Sherrod. Pull up, 19-foot jumper, short. Wisniewski over the back for the rebound, and he was undercut by Johnson. That'll go on Johnson.
But there you go. You see Wisniewski already in there causing havoc. That's his second offensive rebound of the half. And that's something that St. Mary's did not have in the first half. And when you're shooting, what's Orchard Lake St. Mary's shooting 28%, you need all those you can get.
And a lot of it, yep, sorry, Stick. And a lot of it was because Wisniewski wasn't on the floor. He was in foul trouble.
Yep.
And had to sit for most of the second. John McKinney, the father of Trey McKinney, will get that basketball, throw it in. John works right down the road, just a couple miles down the street. Has for years and has always thought of St. Mary's, a school that'd be great for his son. Lob to Barnes. Barnes puts it up. Can't get it to go, but he draws the foul. Another foul. And it's going to go on 12, so the bench just keeps rotating fouls. That's Steele. Sherrod to shoot 2.
And he just picked up several quick ones in a row, and Steele's going to be subbed out immediately. But that's the size advantage that I was talking about. When Sherrod Barnes has a smaller guy on him at that point guard position, he'll take him right down to the post, and he's tough to defend.
The Bobcats only have 3 players that have collected a foul tonight, but all 3 of those players have 3 fouls.
Well, it's starting to add up. They're already at 14 fouls here with almost 5 minutes left to go in the third period.
2 of those players, Stick, are reserves off the bench. I mean, that's quick work. You get a look at Todd Covert.
In the red.
In the red. You see, also see the associate head coach, Len Karshnia.
Okay.
And you also get a good look at Brad Crichton. You didn't see Marcus Webster, also one of the assistants for Todd Covert. 4-point game. 4:30 left. RJ, nice look, right block. Blocked from behind by Smith. with a savvy stab from the backside.
Yeah, that was all ball, and he's lucky to get away with that, too. A lot of times that goes straight to the free throw line, but all ball block with the left hand.
Ball out of bounds baseline, wide open. O'Mara for 3 short. St. Mary's has dodged that bullet a lot tonight. Wide open threes.
And he's got good form on his shot, too. A nice tall release, good rotation. He hit his first of the game, but hasn't done it since.
No, they count on him for 8 points a night. They count on Trey for about 25 a night. Gives it up to Sherrod to the hole. Kicked onto Wisniewski with a little too much mustard on that Polish sausage.
Yeah, Sherrod Barnes looked like he was going to take that up, and I don't think Wisniewski was ready for that hot pass coming through.
Taylor. Grand Blanc trying to win in Orchard Lake for the first time in school history. This is only their second try in this building. I should add that side, don't you think?
In their 100-year tradition.
Tay Boyd working against Trey McKinney, sticks one, and that grows the lead back to 7 and matches the largest. 3.5 left in the third.
Yeah, and even though they're only shooting 29% from the field, they're holding Orchard Lake St. Mary's to 33.
3 of 5 from downtown for Tay Boyd. Free throw line, 15-footer, Wisniewski stepping out to show off that long range. He's got that long range game.
Well, St. Mary's needs somebody to step up right now with Trey McKinney struggling. You know, R.J. Taylor's gone on a little run. Tay Boyd has gone on a little run.
Robert Williams is checked in, gets that miss. R.J. leans into a 16-footer and rolls it home.
Crafty. So crafty. The pump fake, get your defender in the air, step back under, unbalanced shot, and it still goes in.
Career assist to turnover ratio of 2.5 to 1. Trey's pass is nearly picked by an aggressive sophomore, Donnie Huddleston, on the far sideline. Grand Blanc's feeling it now and starting to gain a lot of confidence. You can just feel it, Stick.
Yeah, and like I said, they brought a big crowd here. Their energy has been here since the JV game, and you can tell that helps you when you're on the road trying to get that first win in school history here.
Yeah, right. There's a 3-time by McKinney, puts it up, can't get it to go. Sherrod with an offensive rebound. Sherrod, mid-post shot up, no, and a foul. And St. Mary's having to work really hard to get a clean look, Stick.
That's what I was just going to say. Grand Blanc doing a great job of being physical, and the referees are letting them play, too. And you know what? You adapt to the referees. This is the kind of game you want to see. Let the players decide it and, you know, get up and get physical on both ends of the court.
Already 5 team fouls for Grand Blanc, just 1 for St. Mary's.
That's
so keep an eye on that.
That's where the aggressiveness may come back to hurt you in the end. But so far, it's got up to a 7-point lead.
There you see Torrey Jackson, the Grand Blanc first-year head coach. Notre Dame Fighting Irish's second all-time assist man and second all-time in steals, too. Sherrod sticks the freebie, and he's cut it to 6. Sherrod now 4 of 5 from the stripe.
Yeah, the majority of his points coming from the free throw line tonight.
And he's true on the second. Back to a 4-point game. 2:15 left. Here comes RJ and the Bobcats. Sherrod behind a screen. Taylor misses the shot, and Trey boxes out. Trey against Tay. Pull up 13-footer is fresh, and the Eaglets have cut it to 3, as close as they've been in a minute.
And that looked more like the Trey McKinney that we're used to seeing. Fluid, down the floor, using his body, fadeaway jumper.
12 for Trey to go with 5 rebounds. The freshly checked in Robert Williams, the senior guard, feeds it right wing to Huddleston, and the sophomore gets it booted out of bounds. 3-point game, 94 seconds left. The freshman Luke Crichton will check in. Crichton in this game, 4 points on 2 shots to go with 2 rebounds. Andrew Smith, the junior, will take a seat.
You could tell Grand Blanc just trying to get the ball in the post to Boyd. Now a little 2-man game.
He's been somebody they've relied on quite a bit. 15 for Boyd. Posting up against Trey. Nothing home. They kick it right wing. Huddleston for 3. And he's doubled the lead here in Dabrowski. Trey against Boyd, now two-time. The kick out to Sherrod. The steal looking for Smythe. RJ on the run, twirls to the bucket, short with a shot. And a foul on Smythe, trying to get after Robert Williams. That's going to be the third foul on Daniel.
And Grand Blanc just playing better basketball. I mean, RJ Taylor with another crafty theft there on the defensive end, leading to offensive points.
Under a minute in the third quarter. Grand Blanc was up 5 at the break and looking to push that lead here at the third period. I'm in hockey mode. I said third period. It's called a quarter in basketball, I think. So with 30 seconds left, Robert Williams will hold. Smythe will now start to get nosy. And they will await the attack, the final attack in this third quarter for Grand Blanc. Sherrod up in the grill of RJ. Swiped by Barnes. RJ got it back. Kicked down to O'Mara. Layup good at the buzzer at the end of the third. Oh, what a find. O'Mara makes it count. It's the largest lead of the night for the Bobcats. They'll take an 8-point lead to the fourth. Coming back right after this.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by a real professional. Call Todd Barr at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated supports equal housing opportunity. NMLS ID number 130562. This is informational only and is not an offer of credit or a commitment to lend. Contact Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated to learn more about your eligibility for its mortgage products. Chad and Stick back with you in Dabrowski Fieldhouse, Orchard Lake, Michigan. Grand Blanc has gone on the road and they've got an 8-point lead. Stick, their largest of the night, to take to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's a good 8-point lead. It's built on defense and toughness. It's not built on, a high-scoring ball game that 8-point lead can go away real quick. St. Mary's going to have to work for it here in the fourth quarter.
St. Mary's had it down to 3 with about a minute and a half left, and then a 5-0 run. And Tay Boyd looking to take it to double figures, and he did it. A tray ball from the top side has Grand Blanc up by 11. 30 seconds into this fourth quarter.
And you could see it early in the first quarter. Tay Boyd came to play today. He had that look in his eye.
Daniel Smythe for the answer. Splash City for Smythe. His first triple of the night comes at a good time, and he gets it back to an 8-point game. Right-hand dribble drive. This is Robert Williams. 16-footer, Tay fading away, no. Offensive rebound, RJ. Crichton's in there, and the freshman forces a miss. Wisniewski with a rebound. And a save to Trey. Throw ahead to Sherrod, and he's on that end line. They rushed it.
Yeah, Trey tried to get the throw-ahead pass going, but Sherrod could not stop. That left foot slid out of bounds, hits that baseline. But St. Mary's may have gotten away with the travel on that rebound. So, as our friend Rasheed Wallace would say, ball don't lie.
St. Mary's with 10 more turnovers tonight than Grand Blanc. It's a tough hole to climb out of I mean, it's like having 10 less possessions. And Eaglets are within 8.
It's actually like a +20 differential because you're -10 and they're +10.
Right. RJ off the glass, scores it, and a foul. 10-point lead now for Grand Blanc. RJ Taylor, crafty again.
Yeah, and he's just doing what he does, you know, not out of control, just a very simple drive to the left, able to throw it up off the glass. But he's played well on the defensive end. He's played well on the offensive end, facilitating for his teammates. And you mentioned it earlier, getting rebounds too. So overall, just a great, great all-around game for RJ Taylor.
RJ had 28 points in the state championship game last year. This is a guy that can really score it. He was also the D-Zone's Player of the Year his junior season a year ago. So, 11-point lead. The and one's converted. Trey with it, high on the right. Against Boyd, fadeaway jumper's good. Trey sticks it, timeout Todd Covert. Back to a 9-point game, 6.5 left. We'll keep it right here. Want to remind you about the great comedy show coming, and it all benefits the REACH program, and it's the Keep 'em Laughing Comedy Fest. Guy Torrey, Kevin Tate, Daryl Earl, hosted by Mike Bonner at the Strand, the Flagstar Strand Theater, Saturday, March 11th. Showtime's at 7:30. That's located at 12 North Saginaw Street in Pontiac. And it all benefits REACH Legends. You can find them at 313-355-2335. And what a great cause and what a great comedy show. Also, the Mitten Recruit Junior Prospect Camp coming up. Go to mittenrecruit.com to register. February 19th is the junior camp. And then on the 26th, the junior camp as well. Pick up USA Fitness 12 to 4. In Madison Heights, class of 27 and 28. Young fellas, young girls. Welcome back. 6.5 left stick. What do you think with a 9-point Grand Blanc lead? A lot of time left in the fourth, though.
Yeah, a lot of time left in the fourth, but with a point guard like RJ Taylor who can control the offense, make sure they're running clock each time down the floor. Like I said, it's going to be a tough mountain to climb against this Grand Blanc team. They're very solid.
Purdue with it. The lanky junior has it on the far sideline against Smith. RJ's heated up here in the second half. Now has 13 points. Feeds it right corner. All alone for 3 is Purdue, and he sticks it from the corner. And Grand Blanc has their largest lead of 12, just like that.
And that's RJ Taylor affecting the game.
Sherrod to the hole with an easy lay-in. It's back to a 10-point margin with RJ working it back up the court against Sherrod Barnes.
But if you're Grand Blanc right now, you're okay trading buckets as long as that clock keeps going. I mean, you're already at the 5-minute mark.
The one thing you can't do with St. Mary's due to the depth is press and really get aggressive, which is certainly a limitation. Of course, they're going without a couple of regulars that would be in that rotation. Short bench for St. Mary's. Taylor no look. O'Mara laying good.
Yeah, RJ Taylor absolutely taking over this game without scoring now. He's getting all of his teammates involved.
Fourth dime of the night. Sherrod wheels and deals to the hole. Off the glass, no, but back to that free throw line as he grasps that right arm. But with 5 minutes left, St. Mary's is in a serious spot here. And they need points and stops.
Yeah, and free throws are probably the best thing that can happen to them right now, scoring while the clock is stopped. But that comes with knocking down the free throws, too.
We'll take a look at the Saginaw Valley standings in a moment. Grand Blanc, like St. Mary's, is a perfect 2-0. And, yeah, this is not conference play, so it won't count in the conference standings regardless of the outcome. Take a look at it. Grand Blanc, Carmen Ainsworth. That'll be a team that they'll rival with along with Davison and Heritage. We saw Heritage a few weeks ago in Detroit. Flint Power's a contender. Midland Dow supposedly has a club this year. Mount Pleasant, the Oilers, always with a little bit of smoke in mid-Michigan. And don't forget about Saginaw. There's some teams in that league. Grand Blanc will have to fight to win it, something they've won the last 3 years. Free throw up and good. I take that back. They did not win it 2 years ago. Back to a 10-point game, 4:50 left. Wazalewski is checked in and giving headaches to R.J. Taylor's stick. Purdue. Down low, layup, good. Clean look, and Trayvon Johnson gets a bucket. St. Mary's doesn't have any answers for Grand Blanc right now. Sherrod for three, Splash City. That's an answer.
There's an answer for you. You know, I was talking about trading buckets. If you're trading 2 for 3s, though, that's a whole different story. So a big 3-point make by Sherrod Barnes there. And he's come alive here in this second half. He's got 14 points now.
Sure does. There's a foul. So full court, there is pressure now by the Eaglets. Whistle and a foul, and they're going to get Andrew Smith. 2 away from free throws.
And that was an interesting foul away from the hoop, and you could tell Smith is not happy about it, but there was contact.
Yeah, he doesn't say much usually. Jackson Wazalewski getting tight with the defense against Taylor. Taylor gives it back to Boyd, and he walked with it. It's been a slow second half for Tay Boyd. Did most of his work in the first.
And he came across with his left hand, too, and hit Trey McKinney right in the chin. Trey shaking it off.
If this was college or pro, they'd be looking at that again, maybe.
No, it was not intentional by any stretch of the imagination. Some friendly fire sometimes happens.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Notable players in the past for Grand Blanc. R.J. Taylor, of course, is shy of the all-time scoring record. Kalen Morris has that scoring record. Former Wolverine and Laker. Zach Gibson, former Michigan Player of the Year. Lon Martin was a starter at Montana. Kevin David Rice, who's at Eastern. And Ty Rogers, who's currently playing at Illinois. There's a foul, and we've got a 1-and-1 coming. That is the 4th foul. 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that was aggressive defense. I mean, that's what we've been talking about all game. That's what Grand Blanc has been doing, aggressive defense all the way up and down the floor. But now is when you're going to see, can you keep that aggressive defense up for the final 4 minutes of this game? You've built a 9-point lead, which could be cut to 7 here.
Yeah, and it does force one of their better defenders off the court. Back in is Donnie Huddleston. They lose a little bit of size and athleticism. Much needed free throw is through. It's an 8-point lead for Grand Blanc. We're just under 4 minutes to go. St. Mary's led very briefly in this game early, but it's been Grand Blanc most of the way. Sherrod has been excellent at the stripe tonight. Per usual, he's 8 of 9 in this game. And make him 9 of 10, and he's keeping St. Mary's in it. He's their leading scorer with 16 points.
Well, he's discovered a little bit of his offensive game over the past 3 games. It's been good to see to match that defensive intensity that he has.
How about the defensive game plan against St. Mary's and Trey McKinney? There's a floater in the paint that's good from Trayvon Johnson. It's a 9-point lead. Trey across the timeline. Takes it himself and scores it against the entire Bobcat team.
And St. Mary's doing everything they can right now to keep the ball out of R.J. Taylor's hands.
It's a solid plan. 3.5 left. Tay Boyd, 2-teamed in the corner. And that ball is nearly poked away. Retrieved, though, by Johnson. Grand Blanc trying to get to 6-2 in this early season. Near turnover and timeout is granted. Ooh, that was a tight one and a wise call by Torrey Jackson.
Yeah, it's a good call by the coach, making sure that they keep this possession, because you can start to feel the intensity picking up in this game. And it's going to be a good one here in the final 3 minutes.
Want to thank our friends at United Restoration Disaster Services. For a free damage and claim assessment, give them a call today. United Restoration at 877-772-URDS or 8737. Also want to thank our real estate partner, Mansour Homes. The real estate professionals. Contact Al Mansour, realtor at Mansour Homes Group, powered by Keller Williams, 248-444-5700. Give them a call. If we buy or sell your home, a G of the Game hat is coming your way.
Ooh, nice.
I'll personally deliver it. I don't care where you're buying or selling. I'm coming and granting you one. Also want to thank our friends at Blue Lion Fitness. Check them out at 401 South Maple. Great hard-working crew up there doing great things for some superb athletes. 734-929-5268. Our buddy Dan Roth and Ryan Van Bergen up in Ann Arbor at Blue Lion Fitness. Stick, 3:06 to go, 7-point game. What's left for the final 3 in this one?
Well, you'd like to see Tay Boyd get going again if you're Grand Blanc to close this out, but RJ Taylor's done an incredible job, and for St. Mary's, you got to keep putting points on the board. The free throw line has become your friend.
St. Mary's in the bonus the rest of the way, 1-1, and they have one more foul to give defensively. Trey picking it up against Tay, and he picks up a foul here. And Trey is losing it a little bit and gets teed up. And this isn't good. Well, they've been going at it all night.
Frustration boiling over. And you see right here, Trey McKinney said he was knocking down his hands, so Trey took it upon himself to knock the ball out of Tay Boyd's hands. And you can't do that. That is not a good look. And that, like we said, it's just frustration. And Grand Blanc, you can tell that they know that they're in St. Mary's head right now.
Yep. RJ will shoot it. The officials will talk about it, but this is a 7-point game. It was just 12. And just like that, RJ Taylor looking to get those points back.
Yeah, and they got the ball back on the possession, too. So this could be a huge swing.
Yep. Some scores to pass along quickly. North Farmington, our number 2 ranked team, 75. Benton Harbor, 49. Saginaw, 57. Arthur Hill, their rival, 55. That's in the Saginaw Valley League. Hamtramck, 71. Davison, 65. A nice win for DJ and the boys. And Muskegon 50, Warren Lincoln 45. So Warren Lincoln takes another loss. That might knock them out of our top 10. We'll get to our top 10 momentarily. The officials, though, continue to talk about something. And while they do that, we'll show you the top 10. Cass Tech, our new number 1 team in our Metro Detroit top 10. Followed by De La Salle. That was, of course, before their loss on Tuesday night to Orchard Lake. Brother Rice 3rd, North Farmington 4th, St. Mary's 5th, UAD 6th. The Abes of Warren Lincoln 7, who took a loss tonight. The Bulldogs, who will move up from Loyola 8th, Michigan Collegiate 9th, and Romulus Summit Academy 10th. So something is settled now, and RJ Taylor's about to take his free throw. Free throws up and good. He's an 85% career free throw shooter in a world where free throw shooting efficiency stick just doesn't exist much anymore.
Well, it's a major part of your game. I mean, look at all the free points that they've been able to get, and look how it's helped keep Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Sherrod Barnes with 16 points, the majority of those coming at the free throw line. If you can make your free throws, it definitely helps you down the stretch.
Yes, sir. So more free throws coming. This was a 7-point game. And with both free throw makes, it's 9, and there's a miss. So St. Mary's is out shooting Grand Blanc tonight, 47% to 40%. And they're 4 of 8 from downtown. But the turnovers have been the trouble in this game. 13 for the Eaglets. RJ working against Jackson, the lone senior for the Eaglets. Underrated defender and reserve, the 2 team. to Johnson. Johnson against Sherrod. And Grand Blanc playing keep away. Now with O'Mara. Sherrod, just one foul, aggressive. Tay Boyd look, pass down low, and that's going to be a foul on Wazalewski, who made an athletic play just to leap over the player and fall gently.
Yeah, he gets up holding his wrist, but that's a good possession for Grand Blanc. I mean, you kept the ball for about 30, 40 seconds. Now you get to shoot some free throws, hopefully add to this lead, push it up to double digits again. And that's the tough part about a team like Grand Blanc. Once they get up on you at this point in the game, it's tough to climb back in. We've seen it at the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, Huddleston with 3 points in this game. Grand Blanc 10 of 14 from the stripe. Huddleston, a sophomore. You'd prefer Huddleston over R.J. Taylor. You prefer anybody over R.J. Taylor at that line if you're St. Mary's. And that's a miss. So a 9-point lead, 2:13 left. St. Mary's on the hustle with Trey to Sherrod. Between two defenders, had it stripped, and that's a travel. And that's a microcosm of the night for the Eaglets here.
Yeah, and another turnover. A cleaner second half for St. Mary's, but that's 14 on the game.
Down low, Huddleston, easy layup off of pressure, and Grand Blanc has an 11-point lead. And Wisniewski has a turnover on the end line, and everything starting to unravel for the Eaglets here at home. Todd Covert wants timeout at Orchard Lake. We'll take it with him. Grand Blanc poised for what some would call an upset. We're back for the final two after this.
Are you prepared to be transformed into a better version of yourself? Shaped into a force that others can't imagine. We are part of something bigger. A force that never quits. America's Navy, forged by the sea. Check us out at Navy.com.
Grand Blanc trying to get a win in this series, and it hasn't been easy. One win and 4 tries against the Eaglets, but they look prime here in this regular season Saturday night affair. Glad you're with us. We are the Prep. His name is Sam Stick Day. My name is Chad Bush. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Thanks for watching. Any Saturday night plans for you, sir? You coming to the party?
I'm invited to a party, and I may attend.
Okay.
I got a couple parties on the agenda.
Yeah, Alex Westfall's certainly up for an all-nighter.
He just gave me the eyebrow, so I think Westy is in.
I think I could tell that eyebrow. I know when he's open to it.
The evil eyebrow of Alex Westfall.
Double 5s to double 4s, an 11-point Grand Blanc lead. Daniel Smythe defending against Trayvon Johnson. Now RJ with it. Back to O'Mara, near steal by Smythe. And now a reach in by Smith, and that may not be a bad play with 90 seconds left, partner.
Yeah, I mean, it's pick your poison at this point, right? Either you're going to overcommit and leave open layup happening, or you're going to commit a foul by trying to be too aggressive, and that's exactly what happens here. You get a chance to push the lead.
St. Mary's 2 losses are to number 7 Warren Michigan Collegiate, a 1-point loss here at home, and their other loss, as the free throws made, is to the number 1 team in the state of Illinois, Kenwood Academy in Chicago, in the suburbs of Chicago. St. Mary's lost by 7 on the road in Chicago against that team. So it's all about building, and Grand Blanc came in with a lot to prove, maybe, after some of the losses they've had. Couple of them, and a statement if they can hold on. 13-point lead. Trey misses the runner off the glass.
Well, you could tell R.J. Taylor and Tay Boyd, the dynamic duo for Grand Blanc, came in on a mission, ready to do what they needed to do to come out of here with a victory, and both of them have delivered. Tay Boyd took over early, and then R.J. took over here in the second half, facilitating and scoring.
There you see Torrey Jackson, the first-year head coach, getting excited. And look, it's an emotional thing for the former Saginaw Buena Vista two-time All-Stater. He put up 2,518 points in his four-year high school career. Now think about it. R.J. Taylor, who's been a very efficient, effective scorer, is just crossed 1,000 last weekend. He's a four-year starter, played every game.
Well, you even look at St. Mary's all-time scoring leaders up there on the wall. You're talking 1,600, 1,600, 1,400.
I've done the math. I did a little prep work. 30 points per game. All 4 years is what he averaged.
Is that good?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's something. Free throws good there. 15-point lead, the largest of the night. Daniel Smythe open for three, got it. Bugsy with a triple, back to a 12-point lead. But with 60 seconds left, the Eaglets need a miracle now. Into the game for St. Mary's, checks in. That's number 12, that's Gino Seats. And we get a whistle and a foul. Aiden Hanks also returns to the lineup.
And more free throws coming here for Grand Blanc. I mean, Grand Blanc at the free throw line tonight, 14 of 19 for 73%. You could shoot 40% from the field if you're going to shoot that 73, 75% from the line. And you know what? Three-pointers really haven't gone down for them, but volume-wise, they've hit more than Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Only shooting 31%. St. Mary's shooting 55% from three-point land.
Yeah.
But they've only made 5 to the 7 for Grand Blanc. And that's what happens when you have the turnovers and the extra possessions.
Exactly right. Well said. Another free throw coming for Trayvon Johnson. That's the fourth foul for Andrew Smith. Smith and Smythe will sit along with Trey. And all the starters have sat for the Eaglets and have called off the Dogs here tonight in Orchard Lake. It's been Grand Blanc's night, really from wire to wire. Not technically, but really mainly. Pull up, mid-post jumper, up and good. That's the rookie. That's Bella Matthias. Remember the name. Just a ninth grader, 5'10", 150 pounds, out of Clifford Smart Middle School. And this is a player to keep an eye on.
Walled Lake area. Let's go.
Yep. Torrey Jackson firing up this road Bobcat crowd. And St. Mary's will take note. And perhaps have another date with a finalist in Division I from a year ago. This ball game is over. The Bobcats of Grand Blanc have come into Orchard Lake St. Mary's and stolen one. 60-49, Grand Blanc over St. Mary's. The Eaglets fall on the season now to 4 wins and 3 losses. And Grand Blanc improves to 6-2. We're coming back with a finale and the wrap-up from Orchard Lake right after this.
Begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag G-Brand USA. G-Brand USA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
(60-49), Grand Blanc over Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And this is a game stick that we saw a lot of Tay Boyd early. He finishes with 18 points. R.J. Taylor kind of came on late. But this team was all about stopping Trey McKinney and had a great defensive plan coming in. And St. Mary's really never got their cohesiveness on offense and couldn't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, that was really the big thing. I mean, those 15 turnovers, like I said, they got better in the second half, only 5 in the second half, but 15 turnovers in a ball game where the quarters are only 8 minutes long. That is tough to overcome, and it let Grand Blanc get away with a poor shooting night, honestly, because they kept getting extra possessions.
St. Mary's does outshoot Grand Blanc, as my partner suggested, 49% to 41. They also outshoot them from downtown. St. Mary's 56% from the long line to just 32%. But sometimes the lack of possessions or the spoilage of possessions leads to the other team getting an advantage.
Yeah, it definitely did here. And, you know, tip of the cap to R.J. Taylor, too, and company. They protected the ball as well. They did not have nearly the amount of turnovers, only 4 on the game for Grand Blanc. And to me, that was the biggest thing, the 4 to 15 turnover ratio. And then you look at the assists. Grand Blanc was 2 to 1 on their assists. St. Mary's 1 to 3. That tells you a lot about how a game goes. And let's be honest, Orchard Lake St. Mary's kind of got lucky that Grand Blanc shot so poorly from the three-point line as well.
No doubt, just 32% from the long line. And, well, from here, St. Mary's has a big one on Tuesday night at Brother Rice. And the Eaglets will have a big one against the team that was #1 coming into this year and will be expected to perhaps be #1 at the end of this season. The Eaglets and Brother Rice on Tuesday from Bloomfield Hills. Meanwhile, Grand Blanc will be back in action against Saginaw Heritage on Tuesday, and they'll get back to league play. So will the Eaglets. Look, both these teams stick a lot to prove from this point, but this was a good measuring stick of where these two teams are, and it's getting both teams ready for what's really important, and that's that MHSA tournament.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of playing these types of games. Non-conference, you know, you get to feel what it's going to be like to play some of the better teams in the state. Grand Blanc is leaving here tonight feeling pretty good about themselves. St. Mary's leaving here tonight looking at all the things they got to work on moving forward. But, you know, it's early in the season. Sometimes these losses are good for you. We've seen St. Mary's teams go undefeated and lose in the playoffs. So you never know how this is going to play out. As long as you take it as a growing thing for both squads, it's a good matchup.
No doubt. Time to say goodnight from Orchard Lake. Once again, your final score, 60 to 49. Grand Blanc over St. Mary's. Want to thank our hardworking crew, Craig Patterson on camera 1, Brad the Boss Ross on camera 2, CJ Corey Easterling on camera 3. I'm just thanking you. And Evan Westfall on graphics doing a fabulous job. We welcome back Adam Fuller, the Golden Grizzlies' finest to offer, and we appreciate his services. Alex Westfall, the grand poobah behind it all at the controls, the executive producer, doing a great job tonight. Our stat crew that is phenomenal, and we couldn't do a thing without him. Jamie Janssen to my left, and Pat the Stat Bush to my far left. We appreciate it. We appreciate our social team, and we appreciate our creative team, Julia Pisano and James Ferris, doing a great job here from Dombrowski. It's time to say goodnight. We will talk to you again next Saturday from the Gotta Get It Classic in Grand Rapids at East Kentwood High School. Really looking forward to 6 great games, including Orchard Lake St. Mary's in Kentwood, including Brother Rice, including De La Salle, and a whole slew of basketball games. For my partner, Sam Stick Day, my name's Chad Bush saying so long from Dombrowski Fieldhouse. Once again, your final score, Grand Blanc 60, St. Mary's 49. So long, everybody.